Thank you all for coming out. It wasn't the outcome we expected today.
Coach, is there any chance we can see Sam Howell now that you're eliminated?
Well, I tried Wentz again this week, and that was a mistake. So maybe Heineke next week. Wait, eliminated?
Yeah, with your loss and Detroit and Green Bay winning, you have been eliminated from the playoffs.
I don't know about that. There's still at least one more week of football to play.
But you can't make the playoffs.
I overcame cancer. I can overcome anything.
But mathematically...
I can overcome anything.
But Coach...
Anything means anything!
Sure.
Next question. You again?
Yeah, why did you start Carson Wentz?
To give myself something to overcome. If you want to climb a mountain, you gotta build one first!
Hi, you're watching Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas, the rise of the greatest sports betting show in the world. I'm your host, Rocky Foré, here with my co-host, the Steamroller. Hey, Steen.
Hey, Rocky.
How's it going?
What's up, buddy? Good to be here as always. It's week 18. We were set up to have a lot more fun on the show because as we record this, it is Tuesday afternoon, and of course that's just about 16 hours after the horrible incident with Damar Hamlin on Monday Night Football. So as we record this, it's kind of cast a little pall over kind of the NFL and the sporting world in general. Our hearts and prayers obviously go out to Hamlin and his family, everybody, the Bills as well. And we're going to talk about the impact that it's going to have on the schedule and the games as well, because it's something that has to be talked about. And we're gonna talk about the ramifications as we go on with the show. It's good to be here, having a good weekend. Good New Year's. Hope everybody did the same. Couple of reminders to everybody: don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, we appreciate that as always. But make sure that you comment on the show as well. Drop us a comment in the comment section, and we make it worth your while. We give you a chance to win a $50 gift card. We do that drawing every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Rocky and I will draw a name at random from everyone that's commented on the previous week's video, and we'll give away that one. I think I said 50. We're going to give that $100 gift card because I'm doing a $50 gift card on my daily videos for our capper contest there. So it's $100 to comment on our. Man, we're just throwing gift cards right and left here. So, and to close out the season. Of course, we will be doing the playoffs as well, so we're just closing out the regular season today. Got two mighty fine young handicappers there. Before we do that, I want to remind you guys, if you guys are big fantasy sports fans, don't forget to check out No House Advantage Fantasy Sports Redefined. You can play for against the house for a chance to win up to 21 times your original bet, or you can play a regular contest against players like yourself. You just take, basically, you're looking at fantasy stats. You're taking it over and under as players props. It's kind of a fun thing to do. So make sure you check that out. Download the No House Advantage app or go to nohouseadvantage.com. Use the code WNW to get yourself up to a $50 first deposit bonus. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the crew for today. These guys have been hot, man. They've not only been hot, they've been redefining what hot is all about. First of all, I'm going to bring in the pride of Colorado directly from, I'm assuming, his parents' basement. I don't really know. You know him, you love him. He's a CU grad. It's the one and only Mason Folz. No relation to Nick Folz, as I found out. Name spelled is different, and he does not claim his cousin from another mother, Nick Folz. What's up, Mason?
What's up, Steehn? How are you guys doing? Super excited to be back this week, the last week of the regular season, and looking to end the year strong.
All right, very good. And just for clarification,
if Nick Folz was actually my brother and I saw him play this week, I wouldn't claim him either, okay? So you're all right, Mason.
I think 2 weeks ago, Mason spelled his name Foles, and I think he just recently changed it. I can't prove that, but I think that's the case. A guy who doesn't need to change his name at all. He's been going up against the Goliaths all the time, all the way from Houston, Texas, by way of Cleveland, Ohio. Look at him. We're sporting the brown and orange today. It's David Delano. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Steamroller? Looking forward to this week in NFL action. I definitely think that this is probably going to be the most challenging show that we've done of the season, but looking forward to it nevertheless.
It is. It is. It's challenging just to trying to strike the right attitude and the right balance between a show that likes to have a lot of fun and a show that is looking to be respectful of what's currently going on right now with the NFL. So, and we haven't woven into all that. We're going to talk about the odds. We're going to talk about what has changed, where the lines have gone, who's in, who's out, who's playing, who needs it, who doesn't give a shit. We're going to talk about all that. We might as well kick it off with the Saturday games. We do have the schedule. And remember, folks, we're taping this show on Tuesday afternoon. These are the latest odds that we have available. Always check your lines before betting, and because they almost certainly will have changed based on what we've told you. And we've already seen some movement, and we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about that with this first game, which opened up at 9.5 or 10 in some spots. It's the Chiefs at the Las Vegas Raiders. Chiefs currently 7.5 point favorites on the road. 52.5 is the number. Well, I'm going to start off where it's applicable. I'm going to tell you the playoff scenarios and what needs to happen for each team to do what. And the thing that I wrote on to myself yesterday when I was doing this, I said Chiefs win and ... And by the results of the Monday night game, we were going to know the answer to those dots. And of course, we do not. So I do know that the Chiefs need.
I was going to say, the Chiefs, no matter who would have won that game, they still would have been playing for the 1 seed.
Correct. They still have to, under any circumstance, are going to have to win this game against the Raiders. So I feel like I've been stuck in this same movie every time Kansas City plays a division game. They are once again undefeated in the West, 5-0, but their margin of victory is 2.8 points per game. 2 of the games have gone to overtime. Every game has been decided by 4 or less. The Chiefs, with their turnovers, with their bad special teams play, they have been playing with fire. Luckily, they've had a lack of competition just enough where they've been able to eke out the victory. This may be the time they get burned. I'm taking the Raiders. I really don't care. As long as it's a touchdown or better, I'm taking the Raiders in this spot. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Raiders beat the Chiefs. I'm telling you, this is a different team. They just are mistake prone. They are minus as far as their turnover ratio goes. I think they're -6, -7 on the season. I don't like them to cover this number. I'd be happy eking out a victory.
Yes, Steehn, I agree. I'd have to go with the Raiders plus 7.5 here as well. But if I was going to take a totals pick, I'd look towards the over in this one. I was actually really impressed by the Raiders offense this last week with Stidham at quarterback. Put up some points against the Niners. And the Chiefs, they've shown some weakness at times on the defensive side of the field. And I still trust Mahomes in that offense as I see them consistently scoring on the Raiders throughout. So this one's going to be a battle. And I think there's going to be more than 52.5 points scored.
Well, I hate agreeing on the first play, but I've got to agree with you guys. I'm going to show some love to one of our colleagues, Loud Esman, who I talked to about the Raiders as far as that game against the 49ers. He was a diehard Raiders fan. He mentioned that he thinks that McDaniels is a sociopath and that he really wants to make Card look like it was his fault and that he called his best game against the 49ers. I don't disagree with him on that completely. I think that McDaniels is going to call another good game in this one, and I can't trust the Chiefs to cover in this one. I mean, the Chiefs are 2-13-1 against the spread in their last 16 games against losing teams, and the Raiders have covered the number in 6 straight games when they've been playing winning teams. So I think that the Chiefs get the win here, but I've got to take the Raiders to cover.
I think that Josh McDaniels called a great game last week. What I don't think is that Josh McDaniels can do that twice in a row. I like the Chiefs here unless Buffalo and Cincinnati ends up being a no contest in which the Chiefs clinch the 1 seed without those teams playing. And I like the Raiders there. Patrick Mahomes sits, he rests. I think that whoever is the Chiefs' backup will come in there, and maybe even the Raiders could win that game.
Chad
Who's
Henne.
the Chiefs' backup?
Chad
Henne?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Raiders if Chad Henning's playing.
That's
All
a
right.
great point because that could happen, and we could be looking at a 3-point spread or something like that by the time
Mm-hmm.
this airs. So
Wait a minute. Run me through that scenario game where this game wouldn't matter for the Chiefs. How does that?
I
How does
want to
that come about?
say if the Bills Bengals game is a no contest, the Chiefs clinch.
No, they still would
Is
have
that
to
not
win.
true?
They would still have to win. They're 13-3, so they'd be 13-4.
Oh, and Buffalo would be 12-4.
Yes. No, they've only got 3
well,
losses.
Buffalo that's one of those
They'd be
things.
13-3.
But see that's would be interesting scenario though. What if you get a 13-4 Chiefs and a 13-3 Buffalo?
Right.
How do you?
Ah.
how do
Well,
you
I mean, if you do it percentage-wise, obviously it would be the Bills with the number 1 hole, with the number 1 spot.
Well, in that case, then I'm taking the Chiefs no matter what.
Okay. Very good.
And the Bills did beat the Chiefs, so hey.
And the Chiefs lose the tiebreaker to both those teams on head-to-head. All right, so here's the other game that this is a win and you're in game for the most part. I'll cover the unlikely scenario here in a second, but it's the Titans at the Jaguars. This one has seen some line movement towards the Jaguars. It opened at 7, now down to 6.5 in most spots. 40 is the total, and that's up from 38.5 where it opened. So the scenario here is the winner takes the South, or Jacksonville can get the last wild card spot with a loss, and losses by the Dolphins, Patriots, and Steelers. So there's a small window of opportunity should the Jags lose this game. There is no possibility for the Tennessee Titans if they lose. Tennessee offense is just absolutely stuck in a rut. Tannehill's done. I don't think they like either one of their backups right now. They're just not enough experience, and they just haven't done the job. Even with Tannehill, this was kind of an underperforming offense. 16.7 points per game over their last 10. Over the last half dozen, it's been even worse, averaging just 14.8 points per game. They're 0-6 straight up in that stretch, 5-1 against the number. Jags, well, they're 4-1 straight up and against the spread their last 5, including taking Tennessee to the woodshed just 3 weeks ago, 38-6-22 as 3-point dogs. Henry missed the last game with a hip injury. I expect him to play here. Will he be 100%? Highly unlikely, especially given the fact that it's week 18 and there's probably nobody playing professional football that's 100% right now. I think Henry could be in worse shape than usual. Titans are also without Bud Dupree and Cunningham at linebacker, and they have lots of questionable as far as the injury report goes right now in the defensive backfield. We'll have to see how that shapes up. I think this line move is the other way. I like the Jaguars here minus 6.5.
Yes, Steehn, I'm with you. I got the Jags minus 6.5 as well. I like the way Trevor Lawrence has been playing. And you brought up my key point of the Jags blew out the Titans just a few weeks back. They've looked good. And that Tennessee secondary, they've looked a little shaky over the last few weeks. And like you said, a bunch of questionable players. I think Lawrence is going to look good in this game. They're going to throw the ball all over the Titans, and they're going to cover the 6.5 point spread.
Can't say that I absolutely love it, but my early lean in this game is actually the Titans plus 6.5. Obviously the Jaguars look like they're on a mission. They look like the much better team. This is really one of those games, throwing a lot of the stats out of there. I think that Vrabel and the Titans just find a way to keep this close. Obviously, they rested so many players against Dallas. They've had extra time to prepare. They're all in for this game. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think that the Titans are going to find a way to keep this game close. Dobbs, he's been in the NFL for a long time, spent some time with the Steelers, and as a backup for Cleveland this year, I think he's going to be a little more competent than the rookie. They're going to have a conservative game plan, and I think that the Titans are going to cover in an ugly game here. Tennessee is one of those teams that I don't really love backing them as a favorite, but I will take them as a dog against a Jacksonville team that hasn't been in this situation in quite some time.
Yeah, I got to go with the Jags. They are coming into this game with a chance of making the playoffs with a loss, and I think something like that is going to propel them to not get into that scenario. I think they're going to come in hot. Trevor Lawrence is going to prove why he's becoming one of the best young quarterbacks in the league the second half of the season. I like the Jags here.
America's about to find out the dirty little secret that those of us that pay attention have known all season. The AFC South is terrible.
Terrible.
Everybody in America, it's Saturday night, prime time. They're going to tune into this game like, oh, let's check out some allegedly professional football. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Godspeed, AFC South. Hey, turning our attention to a division that we thought was going to be good and really wasn't. It's the NFC West as the Rams and the Seahawks get together. This is in the late window. These are in rotation order. So I will try to give the start time. The early window is 1 o'clock Eastern. The late window is all 4:25 Eastern. This game, as you might suspect, being in the West Coast, is in the late window. Rams Seahawks 6.5 is the number. Seahawks are favored, of course. 41.5 is the total. Playoff scenarios are this: Seattle clinches the wild card with a win and a Packers loss or tie against the Lions, or a Lions-Packers tie and a Commanders loss or tie versus the Cowboys. Good luck. So you're saying there's a chance. This Seattle team was an absolute bankroll black hole, trademark, for 6 straight games before figuring out against Mike White and the New York Football Jets. The Rams, however, they took Seattle and beat them within an inch of their life on the ground last time, 171 yards. They could approach that number again with Cam Akers and the boys. I think they could keep this one close. The Rams have been obnoxiously undervalued since basically calling off the season, and they've covered 2 of their last 5. Not fantastic, but they're not getting blown out like the perception is, including a game against Denver that went pretty well for the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams plus the 6.5. I'm going to definitely keep my eye on this, see if I can grab a 7. But as it is right now, I'm playing the Rams here. Sorry, Rock.
Yeah, Rocky, I think you're going to like this pick a little bit more, though. I'll take the Seahawks minus 6.5. I can't believe I'm saying this, as I've cheered against them all year. But Geno Smith has looked good, and I just can't back Baker Mayfield. I know that they put up a bunch of points against the Broncos, and they've covered a few spreads, but I don't know. I just can't trust him. I've seen him fail too many times, and I like this Seahawks team. I think they're going to roll at home. It's a very tough place to play, and they're going to do everything they can to clinch that wild card spot.
Well, Steamroller, I'm with you on this one. I actually like the Rams in this game. They really have nothing to lose, a lot of pressure on Seattle. This is just one of those feelings. Like, I think that there's going to be some drama on the final day. This feels like one of those games for Baker Mayfield, just one of those counted out games last year of the contract. McVay, I feel like they're gonna have a plan for this one. And against that Seattle defense, I think that the Rams are gonna he's gonna try his best for the integrity of the game to play this game, all out. And I think that the Rams find a way to cover in this game against Seattle. If not, get the outright upset.
Look, I'm going to talk about a team that is not playing this matchup. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but is the Detroit Lions. I have watched the Detroit Lions get screwed by the NFL so many times in my lifetime, and they got screwed over one more time with this schedule matchup. But I think it's going to work out in their favor because when the Lions get screwed, they don't get screwed a week early. They get screwed with 30 seconds left in the game when Aaron Rodgers somehow accidentally kicks the ball through the goalpost and they count it as a drop kick and they win the game. That's what's going to happen. In order for that to happen, the Lions have to have their heart broken. Therefore, the Rams have to beat the Seahawks for it to happen. And if you are following the NFL story over the last 70 years, then you would take the Rams in this game.
All right, very good. That's the first Rockies proppy, a successful drop kick by Aaron Rodgers. Probably be able
on
to
accident.
Probably get a good price on that, buddy. Anybody know the last successful drop kick in the NFL?
Doug Flutie.
I believe that is correct. That's if it's not, that's the answer I had.
I was gonna guess Tom Tupa, but hey,
he did everything else.
Right.
I've been waiting for Michael Dixon to do one, but he hasn't.
2-point conversion. I'm pretty sure of that.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think that is correct. Let's talk about. Let's head east. And another game in the late window. This is going to be the Giants at the Eagles. Eagles currently minus 14. 42.5 is the number. Well, Eagles, It's your third shot at getting it done. Can you do it? I don't know. So they clinched the number one with any of the following. Here we go. A win or tie against the Giants, or a Cowboys loss at the Commanders, or a 49ers loss against the Cardinals. So apparently they win all the head-to-heads. They just don't win the three-way. So Eagles need this victory. However, the Giants are absolutely locked into the number 6 hole in the NFC wildcard setup. Dable originally said everybody was going to play, and then come Monday, he's backed off a little bit of that. He's been non-committal about who's playing. He's going to do what's best for the team. So there's some groundbreak. I'm sure that should be the front page news on every paper. It's just it's impossible to handicap some of these games correctly. I mean, it's impossible every week to handicap games correctly, but there's an extra layer of uncertainty, especially on a Tuesday, that gives our picks almost no weight. All right. Having said that, because we're hired to do picks, not to say why we can't, I'm going to take the Giants here with the 14 points, assuming they play with somewhere close to their full complement of players. I think 14 is a ton in the NFL. I think you can beat teams pretty good and not win by 14. I'll take the Giants here. Spoiler alert, there's going to be a few dog picks from me this week.
Yeah, Steehn, I'm going to have to take the plus 14 here as well. I wasn't sure either. I didn't look before this, but is Jalen Hurts ready to play this week? Is he healthy?
They're cagey on that side too. They don't. Yeah, so they're not committing either way.
That's what I think makes it really hard.
As of Tuesday, we don't fucking know.
Yeah, if Jalen Hurts does play, I say they win this game a little bit bigger. But regardless, if he doesn't, I don't think Minshew can score against this Giants defense. I'm going to take the plus 14 as it's just a ton of points.
I'm actually going to go with the Eagles minus 14. I know it's a ton of points, but look at the situation. The Giants have absolutely nothing to play for. They have nothing to play for. The Eagles can roll up points. Minshew put up some good points against the Cowboys. I think he's underrated. He's obviously not Jalen Hurts, but the Giants have nothing to go for here. I don't really like laying a lot of points like this, but sometimes there's scenarios for it. Not as extreme, but that LSU-Purdue game was one where I did. This is another one where I think that it's just the right situation where you just have one team that cares, another team that doesn't. I think that this is going to be a blowout, Eagles by 21 plus.
Purdue, We're like Purdue, am I right?
Oh, take that. Go Rutgers.
It was a bad day for Purdue fans yesterday. Bad day on Monday. Sorry, buddy.
Not a great day for Purdue. I'm sorry, Bolero makers. Well, here's the thing. I'm with David here. The Giants, they shouldn't be starting any starters. Sit everybody. And if that's the case, the Eagles are just going to run the ball over and over again. Even if Jalen Hurts isn't playing, I still like them. I think they're going to score lots of points. And if they don't, I don't think the Giants are going to score many points. So I like the Eagles here.
All right, very good. All right, guys, 16 games, 4 of them are in the can. We will be we'll be right back after we learn what's going to happen to Derek Carr. We'll be right back.
Go long, Jimmy. Come on, Jetson. You gotta catch that. I'm not 8 feet tall, Jimmy. Don't. What? Forget about it, Jetson. It's gone. It's right there. Jetson, it's gone. I got it, Jimmy. No!
Do you want to make a tic-tac?
I told you not to go over there! Jimmy, what is that? It's Jackson Mahomes. Patrick's brother? Yeah. What's he doing down here? Legend has it that Patrick Mahomes locked him down here long ago because he was tainting his image.
But I'm better now. I'm an icon. Come on, little boys, untie my rope. You wouldn't want to see little old Jackson wither away down here, would ya?
Well, he's not that bad, Jimmy.
I'll put you in a tick-tock.
You don't understand, Jetson! If we let Jackson out now, he could destroy Patrick's image that he worked so hard to rebuild!
Think about the number of followers you'd get.
Well, we can't leave him down here, Jimmy.
You wouldn't leave me down here, too.
Ah, it's Brittany Mahomes!
You don't think I have resting bitch face, do you?
Jetson, we gotta get out of here!
Please, tell me how the Chiefs are doing. Are they winning? Corvette, hop in the motherfucking jet like that. No, not like that. We should walk like that.
Jetson, your hand! Ah! Jetson! 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 Look out! Nose goes.
This is exciting, isn't it? Yeah, I guess. Look, with Stidham throwing for 365 yards and 3 touchdowns, the writing's on the wall. And 2 picks, including that last one. Woof. Yeah, seeing their young quarterback throwing a costly interception must have really shocked those Raiders fans. Anyway, the Raiders are moving on. You know what that means? Anger, fear, disappointment. Opportunity! It's a wide open market right now. Take a look at the AFC division leaders. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and Trevor Lawrence. What do I have in common with those guys? You also play quarterback, and trust me, there's a lot of teams out there that are fighting to get into the Derek Carr business. I don't understand why I can't just go back to the Raiders. Anyway, you say in Vegas, they owe you $33 million. You know how much Jarrett Stidham makes? I don't know, $30 million? Try $985,000. What? That can't be right. Oh, that's right. And look, if Captain Kangaroo and his New England reject twins can make used scapegoat and save themselves $30 million in the process, then that's what's gonna happen. I let all the teams know you're available, and I told them to start calling around 10 a.m., and according to that clock behind you right there, that's about 15 seconds from now. The whole thing's just weird. I feel like a hooker. You're my pimp. Now you're getting it. All right, here we go. Are you sure they're gonna call? Did you give them the right number? Hey, you know what? Maybe they're sending emails. Let's see what we got here. DraftKings, FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, one of those chain emails from Chris King. My Noggin Boss order has still not shipped yet. Penis enlargement. Forward that one to me, would you? Sure.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous.
Trust me, it's gonna ring. Well, answer it. Hello? It's for you. What? Yeah. In fact, he's sitting right here beside me. Uh-huh. No, we haven't discussed that at all. Well, that's very intriguing. We'll call you back. Who was that? Carolina? Atlanta? Houston? Please don't tell me it was Houston. It wasn't Houston. It was the Chargers. The Chargers? What's wrong with Herbert? Is he hurt? Are they trading him? No, they're cutting Chase Daniel. Who? Chase Daniel, their backup quarterback. Oh, no way. I'm a starter, man. Yeah, sure, I get that, but just so you know, Chase Daniel has started 5 games since 2010 and made $41 million. What? Really? While Tom Brady and the Bucs were practicing in the hot Florida sun, you know what his backup Blaine Gabbert was doing? No. He was riding a jet ski and rescued a whole bunch of people when their helicopter crashed. He's a certified hero. I've always wanted to be a hero. There you go. What do you say we call him back and then afterward we go get some ice cream? Extra sprinkles? What the hell? We're celebrating. Extra sprinkles for everybody. Johnny! Ice cream, extra sprinkles! Yay, I'm gonna be a hero.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas, the rise of the greatest sports betting show in the world. I'm your host, Scott Steehn, joined as always by my capable co-host, Mr. Rocky Foré, and our special guest this week, David Delano and Mason Folz. We've got 12 games left, some with playoff implications, and we'll talk about those. And this is one of those games right here. Before we get to it, don't forget to drop us a comment in the comment section. Chance to win $100. We'll do a random drawing the following Thursday for everybody that dropped a comment. One of those people will win a $100 gift card. And don't forget, this isn't the last show. The last show of the regular season. We'll be doing it in the playoffs as well. We'll be having a show for the, of course, wildcard round, the divisional round, the championships, and I don't know what sort of extravaganza Rocky has planned for the Super Bowl, but you'll be seeing at least some of us for our big Super Bowl soiree blowout extravaganza, which will be named later. So let's talk about the AFC East, boys. It's going to be an early start between the Jets and the Dolphins. The Fins currently 1-point favorites. 38.5 is the total. Miami's scenario is they clinch with a win and a Patriots loss at the Bills. I would say that would be a fairly likely scenario. The Dolphins got a lot to play for here. Unfortunately, I'm not sure they have a quarterback. Again, can't remind you enough. It's Tuesday. We don't know what the status is of a lot of these players. And Teddy Bridgewater, and to a lesser extent, Tua is one of those players. I don't think Tua is going to play. I think the bigger question is Teddy Bridgewater and his finger. If he doesn't go, of course, it's Kansas City's own Skylar Thompson going at it. But I just, here's the deal. New York can't score. They have had real problems over the last month. They've averaged just 13.5 points per game. Again, I want to know if Teddy's playing, but on this game, I think I'm going to go with the under 38.5. Jets defense has been a stalwart throughout the season, just as almost as bad as their offense. They've been as good as their offense has been bad. I think points are going to be hard to come by here. Miami, you know what? It's a great story. Haven't played in a lot of big games lately in Miami. This is one of them. Those collars going to be just a little bit tighter. Everything's going to be just a little bit more difficult. I like the under 38.5 here.
That's a great pick, Steehn. If I was going to take a totals pick, I'd definitely go with the under as well. Now, with my pick on the side, I actually like the Jets +1 on the road. I'd probably just take a money line against the Dolphins. It's like you said, a lot of injury issues at the quarterback position. And I like this Jets defense. I see them getting a few stops. I'm just trusting their offense to score 1, maybe 2 touchdowns. So I think that's going to be enough to win this game.
I'm going to agree with Money Mason on this one. I like the Jets as well. I think that even though they've stumbled down the stretch, I think they want to end it on a positive note. This line, look ahead, it was opened up as the Jets being a 4-point dog. Now we're looking at 1 point to a pick 'em. Week 18, you could throw a lot of stats out the window. We'll talk about another game later, but this is going to affect. But I think that this is going to open the door for another team. Something about this game, I think the Dolphins are going to blow it. I'm taking the Jets.
I'm with you guys, too. I think they're going to throw Joe Flacco out there to the Wolves, expecting him to get absolutely manhandled the way Mike White did against the Seahawks with one of the worst pass rushes in the NFL. I think Joe Flacco is going to stand in there and just deliver dart after dart to Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore and Tyler Conklin. And meanwhile, Mike McDaniel is going to be sitting there on the sideline being like, I thought we had 8 wins like 5 weeks ago, because that's going to happen. He's going to finish the season with 8 wins without the playoffs. They're going to come back next year, hopefully have some better answers, because they were looking hot at the beginning of the season. I like the Jets here because with David, I am also choosing everything based on the NFL script I have already decided in my head is going to happen. You guys know what's going to happen. We'll talk about it later. Jets.
All right. Very good. Hey, it's the Sunday night game. All of America gets to tune in to the NFC North as the Lions travel to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Take on the Packers. Packers 4.5-point home favorites. 49.5 is the number. Holy crap. Green Bay controls their own destiny. Who could have seen that coming 6 weeks ago? Well, if you say you're probably lying, because nobody could see this coming. They were talking about whether to bench Aaron Rodgers for the rest of the season or not and give poor Jordan Love a chance. All we're saying, man, is give Love a chance. So Green Bay, winning they're in against the Lions. 7th spot in the wild card there. The Lions, well, they've got a little bit to play for, too. If they can pick up a win and the Seahawks lose or tie against the Rams, or the Seahawks lose or tie and the Commanders win against the Cowboys, the Lions are in. So obviously it's a steep road to hoe, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to be playing hard. Unfortunately, I don't really care if they're playing hard or not, because the Packers are playing real good football right now. Lions are a great story, but the Packers, big boy football. And that's exactly what they're playing. Here's some fun facts for you. You might have run across them this week. Green Bay Lambeau Field since 1991 against the Detroit Lions, 28-3. 28-3, okay? One of those games, Deshaun Kaiser came in for Aaron Rodgers, who only threw 5 passes. He was 16 for 35. One game, Brett Huntley started and played the entire game. And one game, they rushed for 42 yards, and Rodgers was 35 of 61, yet they still lost. So I'd say that's a fairly impressive record. Obviously, Rodgers hasn't been there since 1991. It just seems that way, but he has been dominant. This team has been dominant against the boys from Michigan at Lambeau Field. And honestly, guys, I want to ask you a question. If you've got a Green Bay in a 7 spot and they're matching up against the 2 seed in Dallas, Minnesota, or Philly, who do you like there? You honestly say Green Bay has no shot in that game? Is Green Bay favored again against Minnesota like they were last week and easily covered? I don't know, man. I think this could be a seriously good Green Bay team.
I think that if they play the 49ers, they're going to lose by 30.
Okay, solid hot take there, Rock. Mason, what do you think?
If they play anybody else, they can win.
Mason, what do you think about this game, and what do you think about Green Bay matching up there in the first round?
Well, for this game, I'm going to take the Packers -4 as their defense has actually looked a lot better over the last few weeks. They've been helping out their offense. And I see Jared Goff struggling on the road in Lambeau. He's been great throwing the ball in Detroit, but on the road, I don't see that being the same story. And in the future, I think it's going to be really hard to knock out the Packers if they do make the playoffs. Those teams are great with the higher seeds, but I don't know. Rodgers is Rodgers, and Green Bay always seems to find a way in the end.
By the way, I don't think I did an official play after I just laid out the 107 fun facts about why Green Bay is going to dominate this game. I am on the Packers, by the way. So, David, who you got here?
Well, one thing I have to say, I mean, this game was flexed to the Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I don't think I would personally play this. Sometimes I like jumping on lines early, but this one I don't think I could really make a personal play on the side until almost the last minute because the Lions could possibly be eliminated 30 minutes before kickoff or so for this game, or they could be playing for something. Now, we do know that the Packers are going to have something to play for either way. So depending what happens in the Seattle game would matter a lot in that situation. My play on this actually would be over the total. I know that they played such a low-scoring game the first time in Detroit in better conditions, but I think that we're going to see some points here. Both teams have been racking up points, but also with this possibly being, well, we at least know it's going to be an elimination game for Green Bay. The Lions aren't going to give up no matter what. They're going to keep on trying to score. Even if they're up, you can never get comfortable with Green Bay. Even if they're down, they're not going to give up. Whether we see turnovers or whatnot, I think we're going to see both teams play until the end on this one. And I can see both teams getting over 24 points, 27 points. So I like over the 49.5 in this game.
Rocky, what do you think? Is this Slash trying out for your garage band easy?
Yes. But also, I would put him at drummer because I would like to explore what else he could do musically. We're all talking about, I've heard a lot of Seahawks fans complain about how they got screwed. I, as a Seahawks fan, don't care. I more care about the Lions. The Lions fans got screwed here. If the Lions and Seahawks played at the same time, all 3 teams are playing for something, and all fan bases get to watch and play for something at the same time. And the Lions are the ones who are got out of it, I think it's stupid. I think it's so stupid that the Lions have to play after it's decided or not. But they're going to go into this week playing like they can do that. They're going to go into this game, no matter what happens, they at least are going to prepare to be potentially in the playoffs. And I know you talked about the stats about the Lions in Lambeau since 1991. Dan Campbell is 2-1 against the Packers with that one loss coming in Lambeau, I will say, but he's still 2-1 against the Packers. That is 66% of the wins that he had last year. So I see some things coming. I can see the Lions coming in and absolutely torching the Packers. And the Lions, the way they've won games this year have been with explosive plays and clutch defense, and that is how the Packers have gotten wrecked earlier in the year. I think this is going to be a lot closer than we think, even if the Lions are eliminated by kickoff. I like the Lions here.
Okay, very good.
One thing I shouldn't say about this game, I said I'm not going to play the side, but I will throw in. We're looking at these games. I don't like to put the fan hat on there, so I'm not a Lions fan, but I am cheering for the Lions, Detroit, if you're out there. I would love to see nothing more with my team being eliminated than for the Lions to get into the playoffs. Just personally, I'll put that out there.
I'm okay with that. I like to see a little churn. I like to see a little churn with the teams. I like to see some new faces in there. And Dave, I would have liked to seen Cleveland, but that would have been just great to see America tearing themselves apart about whether they can support Cleveland behind Deshaun Watson or not. But yeah, maybe next year.
The other side grew up an hour from Detroit, so go Lions in this one.
All right, very good. Here's a game with playoff implications that are on life support. This is going to be the Browns at the Steelers, another game in the early window. Steelers are 3-point favorites. 40 is the total. Pittsburgh, they can clinch with a win and a Dolphins loss and a Patriots loss. So if the Jets can get past the Dolphins and the Patriots lose to the Bills, the Steelers, they're in. They're currently sitting at 8-8. I know they want to keep Mike Tomlin's streak of not ever finishing under 500 alive. I don't care. These teams, in a lot of ways, are like just looking in a horrible, boring mirror. They like to run the football. They're not particularly good at throwing the football, although Pickett gives them an opportunity to do just that. But I like the under 40 here. I think this is going to be a grind. It's going to be every bit as boring as we've come to expect from the AFC North. I think it continues that wonderful tradition right here. Give me the under 40 in the Browns-Steelers game.
I'm liking I'm going to take the Steelers here, -3 at home. As like you said, Steehn, Mike Tomlin's perfect. Keep his record over 500 throughout his career is still out there. They're 8-8 right now. He's going to get the Steelers fired up to play. They looked actually pretty solid last week as they picked up that win. And I'm going to be honest, I can't fade Kenny Pickett and their offense right now. They're starting to run the ball a little bit more, and I'm just not a fan of Deshaun Watson in this Cleveland offense. So I'm going to give the Steelers that edge. I'm going to take them -3.
I thought Deshaun Watson looked good against the Commanders. I think that the Browns are the Browns should be the better team. I think that overall, especially offensively, they're the more talented team. But the Steelers have a better record, and why is that? We've got a better culture in Pittsburgh. They've got better coaching. Look, it sucks to say this as a Browns fan, but I'm not jumping off of the Steelers train now. At the beginning of the season, I picked the Steelers to go over 7.5 wins. This last week, I don't do this too much. I labeled my favorite play of the season on the side play of the season. I took the Steelers against the Ravens. This is just one of those games where there is no way. I think the Browns are the more talented team. Kevin Stefanski against Tomlin. The Browns won the first time. I do not see the Browns with nothing really to play for here, taking down the Steelers in a game that they need. I am going to have to go ahead and back the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. Cannot trust Kevin Stefanski late. I kind of think about last year when Big Ben played the last game against the Browns in Pittsburgh. And it was one of those situations where it was like, throw the stats out the window. Big Ben's not losing to Cleveland in his last home game. And the Steelers aren't losing to the Browns in this one. Only time I can really remember the Browns beating the Steelers in a meaningful game, that playoff game where Kevin Stefanski had COVID and was in his basement. He's going to be on the sidelines in this one. He's going to blow it. Steelers.
So you're telling me you hit your 5-star lock of the century last week?
About the century, but the season, yes.
Nice. Nice. His 12-star blowout. Don't miss this one. And if you want to get more premium picks from David, don't forget to check out his information over there at winnersandwinders.com. There'll be the link in the description as well. Get premium plays from David, from myself, or Mason. Just check the experts tab at winnersandwinders.com. Cool thing about that is total transparency. You got everybody's record. You can find out who's been hot, who's been not, and you can jump on those picks accordingly. Rocky, Browns or Steelers?
I'm with David here. You know what's scary? A Steelers team that's defense is starting to pick things up. A running game with a bruising running back like Najee Harris starting to finally get his yards per carry over 2. And a Kenny Pickett who's got some confidence. He had 2 straight game-winning drives. Can he make it 3? I think so. I like the Steelers because I think they could make some chaos in the playoffs.
All right, very good. Another game in the early window. I don't believe this one. This one will not be on national TV for everyone to see from the AFC South. This is going to be the Texans and the Colts. The Colts are at home, 2.5-point favorites. 38 is your number. God, just kill me now. You heard the expression, a game only a gambler could love. I don't know any gamblers that love to get this game. No one wants to see this game. The Colts, they've had 3 horrible games and then 1 great half and then another horrible game and a half. Folz has busted ribs. I'd like to welcome back to the club, Texas's own Sam Ehlinger. Very good. Give me the point. Give me the points in this one and the team that appears to care at least occasionally. I'll take the Texans and the 2.5.
That's a great pick, Steehn. I like the Texans here as well, as I just don't trust the Colts. Like you said, they're without Nick Foles, which really wasn't that big of an improvement to begin with. But I've faded Sam Ehlinger all year when he was playing earlier in the season, and it continued to work for me. I like the Texans here, just kind of a weird spot, like you said. I'd also lean towards the under, as I just don't trust either of these offenses. I could see it being a very boring game, not even worth watching, and the total staying under the number there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in that game.
Yeah, these are two teams that definitely can make you look bad. Over the week, sometimes it's looked like the Colts would step up. They've looked bad. The Texans, they didn't win a home game all year. I know that this game's on the road. I thought that they'd give a better effort against Jacksonville last week. Thought they'd maybe fight for Lovie Smith a little bit. Couldn't do it, not even in garbage time. But they were embarrassed. I think maybe even a little more embarrassed. Both of these teams were embarrassed. Look, the only way to play this game, honestly, if you are, I'd say take the Texans on the money line if you're going to play it. Because right now I'm seeing that they're about plus 127. Get you some positive value. That means that it's a little better than a coin flip, right? Why'd lay any juice, even minus 110 on the Colts? If you want to play it, take the dog. Take the possible for plus money. That means that you can be profitable long-term, hitting less than 50% of your plays. So if I was going to play this, it's Texans money line.
Remember, that's David's 12-star can't miss bet the farm lock of the century. Texans plus 127.
If you want to hear my part, it definitely is not. But go.
Rocky, what do you got here, bud?
You want to hear my lock of the century?
You know we do.
It's not about the points, not about the spread. I got over 3.5 players to take a snap at the quarterback position.
Okay.
I think the Texans might trot Davis Mills out there for a series or two. Might throw in, I don't know, who's the guy, the backup, whatever.
Well, they've been doing the 2 quarterback thing a little bit.
Exactly. And then I also think the Colts, Sam Ehlinger might play a little bit. I don't know, Tim Tebow might play a little bit. Maybe we'll do a little wildcat to Deion Jackson.
I just wanted to hear who your 4th quarterback was going to be. That's what I was waiting to hear.
Yeah, who's the backup for the Colts now with Folz out, and is Matt Ryan the backup?
I think everybody's it's a team full of backups for starters.
Yeah.
Is it Ryan?
Matt Ryan has to be tired of getting shut down and coming back. I bet Matt Ryan probably wants nothing to do with this game, but who knows?
Is he still?
Oh yeah, that guy's in Cabo right now. Yeah, it's Matt Ryan.
Not going to be here very long. I'll tell you that much.
Let's see if the Colts sign anybody. Colts practice squad.
You're going to have to, right? Very good. Well, that's spending way more time than that game deserved. So I don't hate that 3.5. I don't know. At some point, do you think Saturday just says, no, Sam, no more from you? And just,
I mean, I also think that something crazy could happen. Like maybe the holder runs for a first down, the punter runs for a first down. I'm counting those as a quarterback snap.
Well, you certainly can, but the books won't.
There's literally no final score of either team winning in this game that would shock me.
Yes,
it could be 7-3 or 51-48. You don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. All right, everybody. We've reached the halfway point. 8 down, 8 to go. Stay tuned. After some entertaining messages, we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Rabbit McKinstry, here live on the scene at the beach where Blaine Gabbert just saved 4 people from a helicopter crash while riding his jet ski. Blaine, how did you do it?
Well, I just pulled my keys out, started it up, revved it, and pulled out, and that was it.
I meant the saving the people aspect of that.
Oh, that was more so, seeing the situation, people needed help, and I was, doing my civic duty was all, anybody do it.
Well, Blaine, I don't know about that. You are a hero among non-heroes, me included. Now, you can add being a hero onto your life's checklist. Is there anything else that you're trying to do anytime soon?
I'm thinking about opening up a pet cemetery.
Eerie. Anything else?
Yeah, I was also trying to get into writing, maybe, got some ideas I'm going to throw around to HBO Max. Got a meeting with an executive later today. I'm actually late for it right now if we don't... How long,
Well, there you have it, folks. Blaine Gabbert, once a backup quarterback, then a hero. Maybe tomorrow, a movie star. Wait, hold on a second. Is that just BlaineWatch?
it's BlaineWatch.
So you just took BlaineWatch and made it your name?
That's right.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to want to do a BlaineWatch reboot anytime soon.
Oh, well, I've got a bunch of other ideas.
I guess I got 5 minutes.
Is that you as Harry Potter?
Yeah, Daniel painted it and gave it to me. My dog sat for him. Just tell me your ideas.
The sun is setting over the hills. Aerosmith is playing through the night. Ben Affleck has a cracker. Or potato chip.
Now, the gazelle could go north to the ample sustenance of the peaks above. Or we could go south, answer man's age-old question. Ass. Or
Hold up. That's just Armageddon.
I was getting to the best part.
Hey, Blaine B, do you think anybody else in the world is doing this exact same thing right now?
What else you got?
You ever wish you hadn't been born? My lips bleeding, Bert! Tom Brady's pedals. Tom Brady's pedals! Ah! Mary Blaine's Miss Blaineford Falls!
Next.
Let's see if any of this gets you. Mike Myers, Queen, Public Access TV.
Look, if you're gonna spew, spew into this.
Blaine's World!
Blaine's World! Excellent!
Next.
A classic story of power and the press.
Citizen Blaine? Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Which leads me to my next Airplane.
All of these are just puns of movies that have already been made. Do you have any original ideas?
Oh no. Casablanca, Silver Linings Blaine's book, Blaine's and Automoblanes, Grease, Perks of Being a Blaine Flower. I got more, come on.
Unless you're gonna pay me for wasting my time, you may get out of here, Mr. Blaine.
Thanks for your time.
Jenny, bring me some of those nerd writers in here unless they're on strike again. I've got an idea.
All right, everybody. Well, welcome back to Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas, the rise of the greatest sports betting show in the world. I'm your host, Scott Steehn, and you know what? I've been hotter than a pistol when it comes to the NFL lately, going 15-6 over my last 21. If you want to check out my premium plays, what I got for this weekend's card, please do so. Check out the experts tab at winnersandwhiners.com. Scroll down till you find my name, and we got some great deals going over there, so mention my name. All right, they'll hook you up. And, of course, we will have the link that'll be in the show description as well. You can just click on that, because I know Googling winners and whiners, that's a lot of work. So we put a link right in there. We are nothing if not here to make you more efficient. So let's talk about a game in the late window. They're in the NFC West. It's going to be the Cardinals at the 49ers. 49ers, 14-point favorites. 40 is the total. San Francisco clinches the 1 spot with a victory and a Philadelphia Eagles loss. Arizona, this team is inexplicably still playing hard. The Niners, we saw them play with their food against the Raiders last week. They scraped out of there with a with a win in overtime, but they never had control of that game. This is a team that can sometimes play like the Chiefs. They can sometimes play down to their level of competition, play with their food a little bit too much. You know what? Give me 14 points. Sure. I'll take the Cardinals here.
Yep, I'm going to keep it simple here as well. I'm going to take the Cardinals plus 14. Again, it's just I think there's too many points on the board here. I don't really know who's going to be playing at the quarterback position for the Cardinals. I know McCoy and Murray are still a little banged up, but I see the 49ers getting up by a bunch of points in this game, 10, 12, and then kind of letting their foot off the gas as the Cardinals could score one late and end up covering that spread.
I like the 49ers in this game. I know that the spread is big, but I still like San Francisco in this one. The Cardinals, they're just 1-7 against the number in the last 8 against the NFC West. 49ers have covered in 7 straight games against the West. I know this is a big number, but this is just one of those games. I mean, the 49ers, depending on some scenarios, they still have something to play for. The Cardinals don't. 14 points seems like a lot, but this is also one of those games that I can see watching, and once it starts, being really frustrated if you back the Cardinals, because I think that they're going to really have a hard time doing anything. You made a great point about the 49ers playing with their food a little bit, struggled against the Raiders, had to rally back, but that is another reason why I like San Francisco in this one. They want to go into the playoffs with better momentum than that. I don't think that they're going to get caught off guard in this one. And San Francisco is just one of those teams that when they're locked in can flat out embarrass people. So 14 points is a lot, but I like the 49ers to cover the number in this one still.
Here's my bold prediction. David, going against Mason and I, laying the 14 in 2 separate games. We split. That's my prediction. One of them will be a big blowout, and the other one, they will sneak in and beat the number. That's my bold prediction. Rocky, what you got here?
I think that Cliff Kingsbury is going to know this could be his last game as a Cardinal. He's going to go into that locker room, start giving the speech of his life, rallying everybody up, and look around, and there's going to be everybody on their phones, on their electronic baseball, on their iPads, not giving a shit. 49ers by 30. I don't care. Cardinals are terrible. They're collapsing.
All right. I think he'll be giving that speech with surrounded by moving boxes because his shit is already packed up. I don't think there's a question about that. Giving the speech of his life and no one cares. They'll be playing electronic baseball. I don't even know where that came from. On their phone, their laptop, their what was the it wasn't Atari, it was whatever the
Tamagotchi.
Coleco was the one that had the little handheld baseball and football. Nice pull, Rock. Man. Out of left field, but we'll take it.
Isaiah Simmons is going to be sitting there on it feeding his Tamagotchi, being like, I don't care. Just decline my 5th-year option already, please.
All right, here's a game from the AFC West in the late window. Mason lives to talk about his Broncos, and now he's going to get the chance. Chargers come to town at Mile High, 3.5-point favorites. Broncos, the total is 40.5. You know what? This Broncos team, they still got people that are coaching and playing for their jobs. I think the Chargers could be resting some folks. It's an AFC West battle. Broncos have been playing better. Every time they play the Chiefs, they feel like they really have an offense. That's going to carry over for at least half. I'll take the Broncos plus the 3.5 at home here to finish strong.
Yeah, I just can't do that here, Steehn. I'm going to take the Chargers -3 as there's no chance I'm backing my Broncos this year. I'm ready for this season to be over as they continue to struggle in different areas of this game, third down especially, and the defense has actually given up a few more points as of late. As I think the Chargers are going to come out strong and put up a bunch of points early, kill the Broncos, and easily cover that spread.
Yeah, to my understanding, and I believe that if the Chargers win this game, it could be the difference between them playing possibly the winner of the AFC South, which would either be the Jaguars or the Titans, or if they lose this game, they could end up playing the Buffalo or Cincinnati, I believe. So there's something on the line there from the Chargers. So I have to back the Chargers in that situation. I know that they're in the playoffs, but if I got a chance to play Jacksonville or Tennessee instead of playing the Bengals or the Bills. I think that's motivation there. Initially, wanted to see maybe the Broncos play for something, but I want to back the Broncos, but if the Chargers care at all in this one, and I think they will, hey, we've made it this far. Broncos have not turned it on. I'm going to ride with the Chargers. Why go away from it now?
Didn't Jacksonville beat the shit out of the Chargers? Am I crazy?
They did early on, yes.
Yeah, in LA, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I was just making sure there. So I'm just looking
those things you got to make it play out right. Maybe if Jacksonville wins, then the Chargers will lose. But if Tennessee wins,
right,
Chargers are gonna play.
That's 3D chess right there, buddy.
See, that's what I was going to talk about. So, Jaguars Titans play Saturday. That's going to have an influence on this game. Currently, the Ravens and Bengals are scheduled for the 1:00 slot. I think that if the Ravens win, the Chargers are going to want that win. They're going to play hard, try and keep that, fifth seed.
Yeah.
If the Ravens lose, it doesn't matter for the Chargers anymore. Maybe they'll rest some guys. Also, there is the consideration that perhaps the Ravens and Bengals don't play till Monday. And if that's the case, if the Chargers play before the Ravens and Bengals, I think the Chargers will also win this game. So I don't know. I don't think you can. I don't have an option for you right now until you know who's playing.
Maybe that's why it's at +3, because there's so many different scenarios that could happen.
Just put up 3. Just put up a 3. See what happens.
Yeah.
All right.
So that in that case, I say Broncos money line. If you're gonna take it, take the Broncos money line there.
Okay. All right. That's a solid play. Bucks Falcons. It's an early game. Bucks are already locked into their spot. That is the winner of the NFC South. They cannot move in their positioning because they only won 6 games or whatever it was this year. No, what did they end up being? They ended up being 8-8. All right, so there you go. The logical thing when you have a quarterback that's 64 years old would be to take a week off and let him rest his old man bones. But that's not what Tom Brady wants to do. He hasn't taken a game off in 22 years except for injury. He said, of course, it's up to the head coach. Wink, wink. Bowles says the starters are going to play. I believe him. Falcons, 4-point favorites, 40.5 is the number. The Bucks, they're the champion of the division. This is a juggernaut. Bucks and 4 points. Hell yeah.
I'm taking the Bucks here too. I like Tom Brady to finish the season strong. I see him playing in this game. No one can hold him out. And he started to look like he was heating up with Mike Evans this last week, as that connection could be very scary for the Falcons. I see Tampa Bay holding their own in this game and covering that spread. I also wanted to let you guys know that my premium picks are still available on the Winners and Whiners main website. You guys can head over there, check out the experts section. Handicapping in all sports, but we've been killing it in the NFL and college football this season. As if you guys are looking to finish the year strong, don't be afraid to give those a look.
Something that I don't do too often on here, but for this game, I can't back the Falcons getting points. Now, you mentioned the logical thing would be to sit down, but even though Brady, we're expecting him to play, I don't think that if he does play, which I'm going to assume that he is, I don't think that he's going to play the entire game. Tampa Bay, obviously, they struggled offensively. They may have found something at the end of that game against the Panthers. So they're going to want to be sharp going into the playoffs in this. So I'm actually going to back Tampa Bay in the first half of this game. I think that Brady gets in there almost like a mid preseason game, gets some work in, gets a lead, and then in the second half, I'm not sure Tampa Bay is really going to care too much. The Falcons may come back. So I'm going to say Tampa Bay to cover in the first half of this game.
We're going to see Captain Jet Ski in the second half. Blaine Gabbert. That's right.
Here's the thing. So far, my theme of picking games has been on chaos theory. There's a reason why teams rest players. I think something crazy is going to happen in the Buccaneers-Falcons game that is going to make Buccaneers fans hate the Falcons for a decade. I don't know if it's an important starter getting a season-ending injury when they shouldn't have been playing. I don't know what it's going to be, but I think something crazy is going to happen. I like the Falcons here just for the pure chaos.
Rocky's Proppies, Falcons, piss off Buck fans.
There you go.
All right. Late window, NFC East, Cowboys and the Commanders. Hey, Ron Rivera, you're out of the playoffs. I don't know if you knew that or not. Cowboys on the road, 5.5-point favorites. 41 is the total. Dallas, they clinched the number 1 spot with a win and losses by Philadelphia and San Francisco. You know, the Eagles, they're kind of unsettled at quarterback, but you know who's really unsettled at quarterback? It's the Commanders. Taylor Heineke goes 5-3, saying, you know what? We don't care for that. We need to get you out of there. Okay. Well, that didn't work out. So now they've got two quarterbacks with serious confidence problems and also serious skill problems or lack thereof. With Cowboys, they're hungry. They're playing for something. This line's gone up from 4.5 to 5.5. I like the Cowboys right here. I think the Commanders are donezo. I mean, the Cowboys minus 5.5.
I'm going to take the Cowboys minus 5.5 too. Just don't believe in the Commanders. Washington always seems to do Washington things as they just blow it late in the season. Disappointing last week. They did not look good against the Browns. Wentz gave me no confidence. Heineke made me lose all confidence in him a few weeks ago. So like Steehn said, they just don't have a lot going for them right now. The Cowboys have a lot to play for, and they're going to be motivated in this game. So take Dallas minus 4.5 or 5.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. You know, Ron Rivera from those old Bears teams, man, I like him personally, but that was a terrible, terrible move I don't know why he thought Carson Wentz would give him a spark. It didn't take too long for him to remind him of why he was benched in the first place. I think that he completely overreacted to benching Heineke and not even realizing what was at stake. They got completely smacked around by the Browns last week in a game that really meant nothing for Cleveland. I think that just completely deflated this team. I don't see how they bounce back to get up for this game against the Cowboys. Cowboys have a slim chance at the first seed, but even if they don't get it, Dallas does not want to lose to Washington. And even with so much pressure nationally on the Cowboys, regardless of seeding, the Cowboys don't want to go into the playoffs with the loss to the Commanders. They're going to cover in this game. Dallas wins this game by at least a touchdown.
How many weeks on this show have we mentioned that Carson Wentz might start for the Commanders? And how many times have we said that it was a bad idea? And they finally did it, and it was one of the worst decisions I've seen in the entire season. And on top of that, that loss dropped them out of the playoffs. Oh, man. Cowboys, easily. The Commanders are run by idiots, so why would you ever pick the side that's run by idiots? I know the Cowboys are also run by idiots, but at least they're winning games with idiots. So, you know what? Yeah, whatever. Cowboys, I don't care. Mike McCarthy's going to choke this game away anyway. Commanders are somehow going to win, but I still like the Cowboys here. You know what? Yeah, I'm changing it. I want the Cowboys. Mike McCarthy's going to choke this game. Something's crazy is going to happen. I don't know. Sam Howell's going to go out and throw 350 yards. Whatever. I don't care. Points don't matter. You've been watching Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas, the rise of the greatest sports betting show with Rocky Foré, the Steamroller. We got Mason Folz and David Delano with us. Tune in with us in just a couple minutes.
All right, guys, 3 down, 1 to go. Don't forget, drop those comments for your chance to win a $100 gift card. And we'll be right back.
Hey, Steehn, before we go to commercial, my little twin siblings, Sandy and Slater, are actually in the field right now with former NFL quarterback Drew Brees at his kids' flag football game.
Wait, we actually have someone of importance on this show?
Yeah, can you believe it? We got Drew Brees on the show. I'm so excited.
Yeah, let's do it. They live now?
Oh, yeah, they've been out there for a little while now. So let's go to Sandy in the field.
Coming to you live from La Bonita Park, this is Sandy on the scene.
Yeah, I thought my brother Slater was going to be there too, but I guess it's just Sandy.
Drew, come on over and give us a word.
Wow, what a game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In my 43 years of life with a wife and 4 kids, I have never seen a game quite like this. It had everything, folks. It had passion, intrigue, emotions, more passion, just had it all.
What do you think Drew set this game apart compared to last week's game?
If I had to put a pin on it, it would have to be all-star quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
Does she think that is Drew Brees?
I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Wow, what a treat getting to talk to the real-life Andrew Brees. Next up, we have Patrick Mahomes, all-star quantum back and all-around great man. Patrick, how are you feeling about the game?
Wow, feeling really great about that win. A lot of moving parts there. Team executed perfectly. Loved it.
Wait, Rocky, is that the same guy who was Drew Brees?
What? I don't know. That looks like Patrick Mahomes.
Look, I'm a Chiefs fan. That is not Patrick Mahomes.
In a last-minute turn of events, we have all-star MVP player Christian McCaffrey coming over to give us a word. Christian, over here. Can we get a comment?
You didn't give me enough time.
Rocky, that's just the same dude playing every part.
You didn't give me enough time.
I gave you plenty of time, Slater. I was vamping for a really long time.
It wasn't like we rehearsed, though.
It was exactly like we rehearsed.
No, I was supposed to be Christian McCaffrey.
You're acting like a little boy. Do you want to be a little boy?
He's my hero.
Okay, guys, that's enough. We talked to some real NFL players today. We're gonna.
You're gonna throw away our one shot off of a quick. This has been Sandy on the Scene, and thanks for watching.
Hurry up, the game's on.
I forgot! It's Monday!
It's gonna be a good matchup. Colts versus Chargers?
Yeah, I can't wait to see how well Nick Foles plays!
Are you kidding me? Ugh, I hate Monday Night Football.
What do you mean, Garfield?
You guys are excited for this? This matchup blows.
Justin Herbert?
Lame.
Khalil Mack?
Overrated.
Jonathan Taylor?
Hurt.
Oh, really? Dang.
This matchup is much better for a Sunday afternoon, waking up at 1 p.m., having my coffee kind of game.
You wake up at 1 p.m.?
I'm a cat, you idiot.
Sorry.
This is not a Monday kind of game. They want this on prime time? God, I hate it.
Whatever, Garfield! It's a football game, and it's on!
Look, you guys live your life. I'm just gonna sit here and eat my lasagna.
Yeah, but Garfield, you can't just complain the whole time again. We actually like Monday Night Football.
Hasn't been the same since the Boogermobile left.
Wait! Shh! It's going to commercial! We might get a teaser of the new episode of Fox's The Cleaning Lady!
Are you kidding me?
What now, Garfield?
You like the cleaning lady too? Lame.
What? It's a good show!
Why don't you watch some quality television, like on HBO Max?
Shh! It's on.
This week on Fox's The Cleaning Lady, she tackles the kitchen.
Yes!
Let's go! I've been waiting for this!
After the bathroom episode, I never thought we'd get to the kitchen this season.
Are you kidding me? This show is just a lady cleaning for an hour. Put on some Jean Dillman and then we're talking.
Who?
God, you guys don't know anything about culture. Is this frozen lasagna?
Yeah, Garfield, you have to cook it.
Where is the culture in not having fresh-made lasagna for your guests? Do you even have an oven?
You're a grown cat. I'm not going to cook lasagna for you.
Why do they call it oven when you oven the cold food and out the hot food? God, I'm going back to John's house where the lasagna is fresh and I don't have to watch terrible football games. And I don't even care if Liz and Odie are there.
You gonna eat that frozen lasagna?
Sorry, Mom. I'll keep it down. You ever watched Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas? The rise of the greatest sports betting show in the world. Sorry.
You ever watching Once Upon a Time in Las Vegas? The rise of the greatest sports betting show in the world. I'm your host, Rocky Foré, here with the Steamroller. We got a couple more games for you. How about you kick us off for us, Steen?
Mom, making some Hot Pockets. Mom.
Loaf.
So Rocky's back at home before. Nice.
Totino's would be great.
Nice. Look at that phone. That's a beautiful. It's got a cord on it and everything. Rock.
Yeah.
Nice.
You go straight to the kitchen.
Outstanding. Mason, do you live at home? You still live at home?
I do.
Well, you just.
I don't have a special phone like that though that goes right to the kitchen. I need one of those.
We had one at my house. It was called the Scott line. Just get on the Scott line. All right. So let's finish it up here, kids. We got 4 more games to go. 4 more games, guys. This is it. After 18 grueling weeks. It's just 4 more games. Oh, and yeah, the NFL, that's tough too. How about a little early game? Little Panthers at Saints. Saints at home, 3.5-point favorites. 41.5 is the number. You know what? Steve Wilkes has done a nice job with this Panthers team. He's fighting to take the interim off his title. They've had the Panthers team ready to go every week except last week. But I think they finished strong and run through the tape here. I think somebody on this panel, it doesn't even matter who it is, says the same thing every week. No way this team is losing to Andy Dalton. And then half the time they go out there and lose to Andy Dalton. But they're not going to do it here. I'll take the points. 3.5. Give me the Panthers on the road. Finish strong.
It's actually awesome that you say that, Steehn, because when I look at my notes, it literally says, don't trust Andy Dalton. So I have the Panthers plus 3.5 as, like you said, they've looked good since getting their new head coach in there. He's trying to do everything they can. And Darnold's actually looked kind of legit as I see him playing good against the Saints in this game, and they'll score enough points to cover the spread.
Yeah, I like the total in this one. I like the under. It's hard to trust the Panthers in this spot, although you guys made some valid points. It's just hard to trust them on the road. The Saints have been playing some really inspired defense. Their defense has been playing great. That's the reason I'm going to take the under. It looks like the last 5 games, they've combined with their opponents for 39 or less points. That hook, I mean, it's hard to lay points with the favorite here with a total this low. So I like under 41.5 in this one between Carolina and New Orleans. Now, before this show, I was thinking this is the most challenging show that we've done this week. There's a lot of things that are going to be changing. By the time you're watching this, there could be some things that we said that have already changed the status of this game. But we are going to definitely lock in and let you know that what we're going to be playing. I've been doing very well on that. I've hit on 24. I'm on a 24-7 run in best bets. Ended the college bowl season strong. 9-1 run there. College basketball is going to be is going underway once football is completely done. A lot of you guys are going to be wanting to bet on college basketball. And you don't know who these teams are. I'm on a 15-5 run right now in college basketball. There's 363 Division I teams. And there's a few of them that the books just haven't figured out and been doing a good job of taking advantage of that. Point is, check out my premium picks for my best bets each week. If you want to play every single game that I gave out here, I'm not even sure which ones I'm going to be playing on this. But if you get the premium picks, you can know what I'm on for sure. So on a hot run with that, 7-0 to start the year. So check out my premium picks.
I like that pitch very much. Hey, you don't know shit about college basketball. You act like you do, but you don't. You don't know the difference between Bellarmine and Lindenwood. Don't lie. I do. So relax. I got it. That's a great pitch.
Yeah, look, this team is not going to lose to a team led by Andy Dalton. So obviously it's going to be the Panthers because Andy Dalton has one more week to prove why he should not have been starting all year. There you go, Panthers.
All right, moving on to the AFC East. It's the Patriots, it's the Bills. When will this game start? Who knows? When will this game be played? No clue. What's the spread going to be? I don't know. How about a total? Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. What we have here is we have numbers from Monday. Monday, before Monday Night Football, Bills were 7.5-point favorites. 42.5 was the total. New England is a huge game for both of these teams, obviously. New England can clinch the last wild card spot with a win or with the Dolphins' loss and a Steelers' loss. So they need this victory to keep. They control their own destiny in this one. Guys, under normal circumstances, I mean, if these teams are both playing for something, if it's the normal time there, I'm going to take the Patriots. If that number is a touchdown or better, I'm going to take the Patriots in this spot right here. I'll take the road dog plus 7 or better.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you can really fade the Pats in this spot. If it's at plus 7.5, just having that hook makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. And like you said, they're playing for a lot. And the Bills are obviously going through a ton right now. It'll be interesting to see if they're ready to play. And I think it's going to be a close game. I think 7.5 points is too much to lay with the Bills. So I'm going to take the Patriots plus 7.5.
Obviously, everything going on with Buffalo, we'll have to see. But safe to say, both of these teams obviously are coming into this game with something to play for. I like the Bills minus 7.5. I think that they're going to potentially stomp the Patriots in this one. I know you guys think that there's value in the Patriots. I'm getting deja vu last year of the playoff game between Buffalo and the Patriots, and I thought that there was value in the Patriots. 47-17, Buffalo's destroyed them. Buffalo is definitely capable of it. This Patriots offense, I give credit to Bill Belichick, but we'll see. I mean, this is something, depending on what happens with the week, that could really rally the Bills. This one could get ugly. 7.5. I think that they're kind of begging you to try to take the Patriots in this one. I'm going with the Bills.
Yeah, I want to say the Bills have destroyed the Patriots the last 3 times they've played. I don't see that changing anytime soon, whether they play this game on a Sunday or a Monday. I think the Bills, we'll see what the line changes, but the Bills here.
Okay. All right. Very good. Another game that we don't really know much about that involves 2 teams that desperately need a victory here. Well, one team that desperately needs a victory and another team that may need a victory. It's the Ravens at the Bengals. As of Monday, Bengals were 7-point favorites. 42.5 was the number in that one. Ravens, again, as far as the playoffs go, they need they're in, aren't they? Yeah, Ravens are in. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Ravens are in. Bengals are in. Ravens can improve their position. We talked about that, moving from the 6 spot to the 5 spot with the Chargers. And just for edification, the 6 plays the 2, which currently, right now, would be the Bills, but is a good chance it's going to be the Bills, Chiefs. It's going to be the Bills or the Chiefs, almost certainly, in that 2 hole. So yeah, I could see the advantage of wanting to move out of that and be in the 5-4 game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and whoever. So I think the Ravens still have plenty to play for here. Now, we have an extra layer of questions. Not only do we not know anything about the timing of this game, but we don't know whether Lamar Jackson's going to be back. Is he going to be healthy? He's missed 4 straight games. If he is healthy, do they want him to come back? Are they going to risk him getting hurt just in time for the playoffs, or do they give him a nice 5-week rest heading into the first round? I don't know. Under normal circumstances, I'm probably taking the Bengals here. The Bengals have been absolutely rolling. They've been beating the number, but again, there's just not enough information known here. I'll lean Bengals, and we'll see what happens with the numbers and the timing and everything like that.
Yeah, there's so much going on with this game. It does really make it hard to pick. But if I was forced to pick something right now, I'd probably lean on the under 42.5 points, whether Lamar Jackson or Huntley plays, as their offense has really struggled. I like this Bengals defense. And if Burrow and their offense gets it rolling, I have a feeling they're going to be pulled out of the game, and they won't be playing much. So don't really trust their backups, so I'm going to take the under in this game.
It's a good play, Mason. I'm actually going to go with the Bengals in this one, minus 6.5, minus 7. Know that there's a lot of things going on. Cincinnati has just been, they've just been on fire. We had the unfortunate event on Monday night, but they got off to a good start in that game. Cincinnati has just been that team that each week, people sometimes fade them or think that eventually is going to be the week that they fall off a little bit. Instead of, I feel like when the team's on a roll like that, should just keep riding them. Why keep losing and losing? Like, dude, this is the week and you lose again. They keep covering the number every week. Baltimore can't score. They scored with 17 points or less and with 6 out of their last 7. Even if Lamar plays, I don't know what his status is. He hasn't played in so long. This offense is just terrible. I'm just not, if I play this game, I'm not getting in the way of Joe Burrow and the Bengals for a team that cannot score points. So I've got to take the Bengals in this one to cover.
I'm with David. The Bengals are hot, hot, hot. In the words of that song that's feeling hot, hot, hot. The Bengals are hot, hot, hot. The Bengals won't stop, stop, stop. The Bengals gonna win, win, win. The Super Bowl, bull, bull, bull. Yeah. And, maybe if Lamar Jackson is playing, I'd reconsider that, but it's got to be the Bengals all the way.
All right, very good. And a last game on the card, last game of the regular season for us. It is the Vikings at the Bears. Vikings 4-point favorites. 46 is the number. Yeah, I get not believing in the Vikes after their performance against the Packers last week, but against the Bears, seriously, come on, what are we doing here? I think the Vikings are still the vastly superior team to the Bears. Bears have been playing hard, I admit, but I think the Vikings take care of business here. This is a game that they is when they play it, they're going to desperately need to have it to have a shot at the 1 seed. Nothing happens without the Vikings winning this game, and then they need some help. I think the Vikings take care of business against the lowly Bears. Give me the Vikings -4.
Yep, I'm taking the Vikings -4 as well, as I see Dalvin Cook in this Minnesota offense being able to establish the run in this game, which is actually going to help Kirk Cousins a ton. I know that it's a little scary to bet on Kirk in primetime, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to get crazy, and I'm going to fade the Bears and take the Vikings -4.
Final week of the season, you got to throw some stats out the window. But in this one, real simple. You got the Vikings here, who are the 31st scoring defense in the NFL. Bears dead last. We got the 2 worst scoring defenses. The Vikings 31st in total defense. Bears 28th. Bears first best running team in the NFL. Taking over in this game. I think the Bears don't have anything to play for, but I want to pad some stats and get some touchdowns. Vikings always play bad defense, but they can score. 45.5, a little total for this one. Even in Chicago, I like the over.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing David was saying about the Bengals. The Vikings keep winning, and I don't know how they keep winning. They have a negative point differential, but they're going to keep doing it. You know what? Stick with them. You don't want to be the person that goes, the Vikings are going to lose this week and then do it, unless it was last week and you won. But, I don't know. The Vikings are cardiac kids. They're a team of destiny, and every team of destiny needs to absolutely hit with the right hook before they take over and start doing well. Yeah. Once it gets to the playoffs, point differential doesn't matter. You know what matters? Winning games. The Vikings do that. I like the Vikings here.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, kids, that's it. After 18 weeks, 16 games this last week, our show, at least for the regular season, has come to a close. We appreciate everybody that has found us and has come back to see us. Everybody that's checked us out for the first time, welcome aboard. Thanks very much. We appreciate all the great comments. Don't forget, drop a comment, win $100, or at least a chance to win $100. All right, do that. Just tell us what you think of the show. Tell us what your favorite plays are. Tell us what color you think the sky is in your world. Anything, really. Just drop a comment in there, and you could be $100 richer. Of course, I want to thank my special guest this week, as always, Mason Folz. Where can we find you, my friend?
You can find me on the main Winners and Whiners website, as I'm writing articles every day. You can also find me on the experts page. I've been posting my picks daily. You guys can hop on those premium selections. I'm also on the Winners and Whiners main YouTube account, as we've been posting free picks every single day. Those have been killing it this year. So if you guys need some consistent winners, don't be afraid to hop on those. And finally, find me on Twitter at Mason Folz, as that's where I'm posting all my free parlays, all my free picks, and pretty much just anything that comes to my mind. So you can find me there.
Very good. And David Delano, we don't want to come to Houston and bang on your door. Where can we find you?
Well, you may need to come to Houston and bang on my door. Last week I said, last time I was on the show, I said you could catch me at a local bar after the Browns lose. And so no matter how old you are, my dad was like, don't be out at the bar because the Browns lose. Drink at home. So bang on my door. You could catch me maybe with a cold one after a Browns loss. But if you don't know my location, you could also find me at Get Sports Strong on Twitter, along with the expert section on Winners and Whiners, where you can find my top plays each day. Also, if you like free picks, check out YouTube. I give out free picks each day, just like these other gentlemen. And also write articles as well on all sports. So check out Winners and Whiners. Along with Stats, so we've got a ton of free articles there as well. So a lot of places to find me.
Check out today's description of today's video. We will have David's geolocation information in there. So make sure you check that out. And there'll be a coupon for buy one case of PBR, get one free. So there you go. You won't have to show up empty-handed. Rocky, the time of the show every week I am most afraid is when I ask you, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Rocky Foré. I know that Chris King said I needed to tweet more. I'll try to do that. I just I'm not one of those kids I'm not an iPad kid.
I'm not an electronic baseball guy.
Yeah, or an electronic baseball guy. But if you don't want to find me on Twitter, you can find me. I'll be scuba diving the North Arabian Sea, trying to figure out if it really was Osama bin Laden that they buried there.
Okay, very good. Good luck on your mission there, buddy. We'll look forward to seeing you back next week. That's it, kids. This has been a blast. We've had a lot of fun doing this. We hope you guys have enjoyed it. We tried to do something a little bit different than the average handicapping show, and I think we've succeeded wildly there. Now, whether you enjoy it or not, that's another thing. But I think the results have been, for the most part, pretty positive. I know one thing: Rocky and I have had a blast. By the way, that's my friend Jordan McKinney. He's a very funny young man. He knows football very, very well. So I know playing dumb it was difficult for him when it came to football. So appreciate Jordan. Together we've written all the sketches for this show and come up with all the ideas. So if you hate him, you know who to blame. If you like him, it's all us, baby. All right, there you go. That's it, guys. Have a great week. On to the playoffs we go. Good luck on all your plays, not just football, but basketball, hockey, all that stuff. Let's go make some money, man. Let's tear it up this year. Here's to a good 2023. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week for the first round of the playoffs. Take care, everybody.
You've been watching Fox's The Cleaning Lady.